Hey guys, happy January and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Ordinary Everydays. I usually talk about budgeting and personal finance. I'm on a debt-free journey, so if you are on a similar journey, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button to follow along and leave me a comment so I can say hi and get to know you. So hello, welcome. So this is my little January mood board where I have a lot of kind of fresh beginning vibes and a little bit of manifestation, even though I don't really believe in it, but also it can't hurt. And I just felt like January is a great time to kind of reset and put that in there. I also put together this little mood board in Zinnia, which is like my little digital journal. And it says consistency is key. That's something I really want to focus on this year. I think if I had to choose a word of the year to be the theme for all of 2024, I would probably say it would be consistency. I really want to stay consistent, not only with my financial goals, but with a lot of other stuff too. We've moved around a lot in the last couple years, and I just want to really focus and make some progress on some goals I have, financially especially, but also otherwise as well. And I want it to feel like I'm stepping into the most successful decade of my life. I want to set myself up for success in the future, and the biggest lever I can pull to do that is staying really consistent with all of my goals. So that is my mood for this year, 2024. And I put some kind of magical moon rises and some fresh pages. It's just how I feel for 2024. I also found this really awesome template on Pinterest, which I downloaded and customized it for myself. But it just has spaces for different aspects of your life. So it was interesting for me because I really focus a lot on the financial aspects of my life, especially with this YouTube channel. I'm really focused on my financial goals, but here you can also plan out goals for mental health, spiritual health, physical health, focusing on your relationships with love and family and friends, your career, your knowledge. And I just love this format of thinking about all these areas and aspects of life. So I actually wound up using that I customized it a little bit for myself, and I'm probably going to add onto this more, but I really took some time to kind of reflect on all of these. And I don't want to go into all of it, but I really appreciated having that kind of outlook on all of these aspects of my life. And I have a lot of goals. I think most of my goals tend to be physical related, financially related, and I love building new skills, but I completely neglect a lot of other things. So I have some other goals for like mental and spiritual stuff, which I'm not religious necessarily, but I do want to embrace more of my spiritual side. So that's a goal this year. I've seen this book called The Shadow Work Journal pop up a couple times. I'm super excited to kind of get into this aspect of things, kind of exploring your subconscious reactions to things. So if you have like emotional hangups or habits or cycles you wish you could change about your behavior or yourself, then I think this would be a great tool to kind of explore those things that are kind of more fundamental. So this is one page, for instance, that I thought was super, super interesting, where I tend to be a pretty analytical and logical person. And if you think about your behaviors and emotions, a lot of those are not really controlled by your conscious mind or your logic and your analytical side, or decision making or willpower or critical thinking. I tend to really lean hard on those. But there is this whole unconscious side that really controls a lot of, like it says here, habits and patterns and emotions. And the only way you can really get to that unconscious level is not through analyzing yourself, but more through kind of reprogramming your subconscious or unconscious level to be able to accept changes regardless of if you've thought through it critically or not. So you're kind of reprogramming your brain on a base level. And this whole book is full of cool exercises to help with that type of thing. So it might seem kind of silly if you're not, or at least it does a little to me, because I don't typically go in this area of my brain. But here's one example I thought was a cool page where you can kind of examine things, reactions, or emotions that may not pop up to your analytical brain. And I haven't done any of the exercises yet. It's just the concept that is really interesting to me so far. But this year I really want to get through some of the exercises in this journal, and I'm just excited to kind of dive in. And there are some habits I'd like to change about myself. So one habit I really would like to change is building my self-confidence a little bit. I'm in my 30s, I'm a mom with 2 kids, so I feel like I should be more confident. And sometimes I do struggle with that a little bit. So an example of one thing that I think would be really interesting to try to work on and reprogram from a fundamental level rather than try to reason my way to being confident. When I was younger, I actually decided to take an acting class on camera, which is one of my worst fears, public speaking. And, watching myself on film was so awkward, but it was also a really amazing way to kind of get myself out of my own head. And through an experience, not through reasoning or anything, but actually putting myself through an experience like that was super, super, super helpful. I used to be really, really shy with public speaking, and I'm still a little bit shy, but I used to be really anxious and shy about it, and that helped a lot. And then also the book, The Shadow Work Journal, recommends doing self-affirmations, and that's also why I'm going to try out some of these little affirmations and see if I can actually help myself a little bit with that, and just experiment with that and just see how that feels. So I'm just really excited to try that out. But yeah, let's get into the budget for January. As far as financial goals go, my big goal for this year is to really cut down on debt. I hope I can achieve it this year. We'll see, because life happens and I know that. But I forgot to fill in my checking account balance. It ended at 7,58601. So I'm starting with 7,58601 in January. Okay. So let's just get into it. So in January, I'm starting with $7,500 in my checking account. And throughout the month of January, I'm expecting to earn around $6,100 from my job. I'll probably wind up earning a bit more because my benefits have changed, my insurance has changed, and my 401k contributions will be changing later in the month of January. So my take-home pay should go up a bit, just based on those benefit changes, I'm guessing. But we'll see. I don't know how that's going to work out for sure. So for rent and utilities, I put the actuals in here. I paid $24.09 on the first of the month. I'm a little behind making this video just because work has been crazy and the kids are going back to school, and it's just been really hectic so far this month. So I apologize for the delay, but we're getting back on track. So $2,409 for rent. We will probably be renewing our lease. We are not really feeling like we're ready to buy just yet. Especially with my husband still being out of work for the moment. And because a mortgage is definitely going to be pricier than what we're paying for rent right now in the area that we want to live in. So we're just going to keep on keeping on with rent, and that is fine. And we really like our apartment where we live in our neighborhood, so it's fine. And I'm honestly terrified of owning a home and owning property. I really want it, but it's also so much responsibility and maintenance and things like that I'm actually kind of scared of dipping a toe there. So I really don't mind waiting. When the time is right, the time is right. So, and I don't feel like it's this time yet. So, internet, 6522, electric, and all the utilities. Let me quickly add these together so we can see how much our fixed expenses altogether will be this month. Okay, so our total fixed, oopsie, let me write. Okay, so our total fixed expense for this month is going to be $3,111.64. Now I've written in a few things here. I definitely want to pay off some more debt. We had a major issue happen with our car in December, and I actually have already paid that for January, so I may have to take some money out of my emergency fund in January. So we'll get into that as well. But let me see what we could do here. So I definitely want to do one $1,700 payment, which is typically what my living expenses are. Last month I did go over, but we had a lot of chaos, so I'm just going to put $1,700 for one payment, and then an extra $500 if I can afford it for a second payment to really bring the balance down on my Bank of America card. It is at 0% for the next, I think we're at 17 months now. So let me add this up, and then we'll see how much is left for living expenses. Okay, so our total current outstanding debts, including cars, $32,296.08. Let me add the payments. So that would be a total payment amount of $2,776. I typically do, and I think this is why I'm confusing myself for no reason, even though this is what I did last month. What I typically do is a lot of I basically put almost all my variable expenditure on my debit card, my credit card, and then pay it off in lump sum. But I obviously basically what this is I typically pay off my, ideally in a perfect world, which I haven't been doing for the last couple months, would pay off all of my previous month's spending plus an extra $500 to really bring down the debt balance. I did bring the debt balance down last month by $400, which meant that I overspent. There was an extra $100 there that I wasn't able to pay down. In the previous month from that, I only paid it down $225. So anyway, let's see what the leftover money is remaining after we do variable, and we'll just put all of it onto our debt to balance. But a lot of this is going on my credit card. So I just did this last month, and now I'm so confused about my own system. So we'll get there. It is January. Okay. Let's just go through this. So for groceries, I expect to spend $900. I'm just going to estimate for subscriptions, $50. I really need to clean those out, and I haven't. We just have a lot of extra subscriptions to different channels on Prime Video and stuff like that I really need to cut down on. For furniture and decor, I really don't anticipate spending anything on that for January. We don't have any holidays to decorate for. I have all the stuff I need at home, and I got a couple extra little odds and ends for Christmas. So I really don't anticipate spending anything there. For clothing, I do anticipate spending a little. The kids may need a couple of things, and I did get some gift cards for clothing for Christmas. I haven't used them yet. But if there's any leftover amount after I use the gift card, I'll probably wind up spending some on that for myself. So I'll put $100 there, not too much. For the kids' school, I'll put $40 for extra cafeteria money. For kids' fun, so I have two categories: kids' fun and family activities that are pretty much the same thing. My daughter has definitely been asking to go to a trampoline park, and we might be able to do that this month if we can afford it, which I think we can fit that in. So I'll put $50 for that. For gas, I'll put $20 because I really don't spend much on gas. Eating out, I will put 100, although I don't think we'll actually spend that much, but I'll just be on the safe side there, just knowing that it's going to be a really busy month. We'll probably eat out at some point, but I did go on a massive Costco run earlier this month, which I can put a picture of my cart. It was crazy just to restock on literally everything that we needed. So we are good for food for a while. So I hope we don't spend too much on eating out. For coffee out, I'll just put 15 to treat myself. I'll probably need a coffee when I go shopping for jeans because that's going to be a pain in the butt. So for beauty and bath, I'll put 50 just for the standard supplies. For exercise, I would love to spend some on a yoga membership again because I really could use it physically. I can tell my body needs to use it, and I should probably just do yoga videos at home, but I love hot yoga. So, but I can't right now. We just can't until my husband gets a job, and then we can just have fun with all the extras and the frilly things and the fun stuff. So, but for now, I don't want to spend the extra money on that. For birthdays, my son's birthday is coming up in February. I'll put 50 just to prep for that a little bit. Thank God we don't have any holidays in January except for like MLK Day, but you don't buy stuff for that. But I have been thinking I should start some sinking funds for next Christmas because I feel like I should plan ahead for that type of thing a little bit more, and I really should start a sinking fund for vacation too. Because I do want to take at least one vacation this year to the beach with the kids, and we may have to go to a wedding in Florida later this year as well. So I would love to prep for that a little bit financially ahead of time. So for now, though, I just tend to just dump as much money as possible into my savings every month, and then the savings is a catch-all fund for emergencies and for extra stuff. But I would love to prep for that a little bit more thoroughly. For family activities, that's kind of like the kid. I should probably consolidate kid fun and family activities, so they're basically the same thing. For car maintenance, oh my God. Oh, well, yeah, I should put it here, what we spent. So I already paid this. It was like $1,100, maybe a little extra. I think it was like $1,150 to fix our freaking car that I already paid. And I luckily have the money for that in my emergency fund, which that's literally what it's for. So, but it just really sucks to see that money actually go away to pay for a real emergency. But I'm going to take that money out of my emergency fund so it doesn't affect the rest of our budget. And we had to have it. We have to have 2 cars. We had to get that fixed. So I don't regret it, but also not fun. I kind of regret getting the car we got to begin with. It is a used Prius, and I don't think the previous owner took very good care of it. So we've had some issues with the battery and electrical stuff with it. So yeah, not great. For dog care, I'll put 50, although usually my husband winds up taking care of that, but I guess we'll see this month. And then for other, I'm going to be really conservative and put 50 here. Let me add this together and see where we're at. Variable expenses for just living stuff, I'm budgeting around $1,500 plus the $1,150, but that's coming out of my emergency fund for the car repair for a total of $2,625. So let me add up the fixed expenses, the debt, except for the Bank of America card, and variable, and see. Okay, so I have the fixed in the debt already here, and then let's do 2,444 minus the 1,475. So that is leaving us with 969.93. So most of this is probably going to be going on a credit card that I pay off at the end of the month. So most of the groceries, the subscriptions and all of that are going on the credit card, and then I'll have an extra $9.69 after that. Oh my god, this is so confusing. Okay, I'm gonna pay $1,500 plus $500. I'm gonna pay a total of $2,000 on the credit card, and okay, 2,576. So basically, I think, okay, so the only thing that typically goes on my debit here is the Costco, because Costco only accepts Visa and I don't have Visa credit, so I just put that on my debit card. The rest of this goes on a credit card. So let me just make sure the math is working out here. 31164 plus 2,576 equals 5,687. And then I'll do Costco's like 300, 350. I spent a lot this time at Costco, 350-ish. Okay, that's bringing us pretty much even with income. And I'm going to skip contribution to my cash savings. We're taking money out of there this time for emergency fund stuff. So I'm actually going to do for payment negative $1,150 is what I'm planning to contribute. I'm taking money out of that this month. And then these I do want to set up an automatic thing for the kids, and I haven't done that yet. This is up to market. This is up to interest. And this is up to market plus contributions. And I'll add all this stuff up later because I don't feel like it right now. Okay, I am back. So what I did was I went ahead and paid $2,000 onto my Bank of America card. So that means, and I already have paid this car loan off, so we can actually color some bubbles in for that. And I paid off, I also had put this car maintenance on my credit card, but I did pay that off as well just now out of my savings account. So this is paid, this is paid, and that means we are good for now. And yeah, let's color in a couple of things here on our sheets. And oh my gosh, you guys, oops, this is not good. I am just really, really hoping that this year is a little bit more predictable, calm. Last year we moved all the way across the country from Seattle, Washington, back to my home state of Georgia to be near family again. And it was a very expensive move. My work did not pay for it. I work from home remotely, and you can live anywhere you'd like, but they do not pay for relocation. So you do have to pay for that out of pocket. But I do feel very lucky to be back home in a cheaper cost of living area. And maybe we'll think about finally springing for a house at some point, but I just don't feel ready for that just yet. So, but I'd love to have just a calm, predictable, not crazy year where I can just make a lot of progress on my goals financially and otherwise, and just everything can be nice and chill. We're starting off this year not on the best foot with the car issues. But it could be worse, and I was financially prepared for that, for emergencies, so thank God for that. And we did not have to go further into debt to cover that, or Christmas, which was also a little pricey. So one step at a time. Okay, so I colored off one bubble here for my credit card payoff. It's a little funky because I didn't really cover all of the money I put on the credit card last month, but we are going to be covering all of our variable expenses for this month, plus a tiny bit extra, and plus an extra $500. So it should bring it down still, but not exactly perfect or ideal. But you know what? We're doing it one day at a time. We'll get there. Wait, I don't want to do that one. I want to do, we'll just do this one down here in blue. And then I'm also going to color on this page in one bubble for my car loan, the most expensive car loan that we have for our godforsaken Prius that keeps breaking down. Hopefully not, it won't again for a few years at least, but I feel like we overpaid for it, and it's not very reliable, which you would think getting a Prius that it would be, but I guess not. So anyway, not to be negative, at the beginning of January, this is going to be the most successful, decade of my life, hopefully. So I have to reprogram my brain to anticipate good things and be excited for good things, but also be prepared for bad things to happen, because they do. So that is what we're going to do. And that's it for January. I hope your year is amazing. I hope it's better than last year. And I hope we all make great progress financially and are happy and healthy for 2024. So talk to you next time for my mid-month check-in, and bye guys.